Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. We are sort of taking a break here from the series of episodes that I recorded all at once fairly recently, the ones with the Daddy Shark shirt. We'll be getting back to those momentarily, but we have two here that we really kind of need to hit back to back without waiting all that much longer. One is one that people keep asking and asking and asking and asking about because it's something that came out after I recorded that 20 or so episodes back on August 4th that I've been editing my way through that I haven't had a chance to record about yet. But at this point, A, it'd be more timely to put out an episode on it, and B, I'm just kind of tired of being asked about it constantly. So we'll go ahead and hit that this time, and then we have a huge, probably the biggest, most expensive, most crazy stealth reissue of a ton of stuff, a new blitz, so to speak, we'll be looking at in our next episode that will hopefully help guide those who are trying to find a very recent set of releases. And by recent, I mean released on the day that I'm recording this episode and the next. So, without further ado, let's launch into that episode people keep asking about. Let's take a look here at Resistance Season 1 on home video, which unfortunately is only on DVD. And please be advised, I'm having to record this at kind of an inopportune time to try to get it out as soon as possible, hence the meh lighting and the fact that you may still hear baby sounds in the background from time to time because at this point my wife is trying to corral him because unlike most times I record, he is not asleep or all the way across the house. So that being said, when Resistance was airing on Disney XD, there was sort of a question mark over what would happen to it on home video. Disney Plus was coming. Would it ever get a home video release at all? And if you actually look at most Disney TV series home video releases recently, Rebels was kind of an anomaly. Rebels actually got DVD and Blu-ray releases each time, each season. That's kind of not unprecedented, that's kind of unusual, we'll call it that, for Disney at this point. Usually these days they just put out a DVD release, say screw it to Blu-ray, high definition stuff, you'll just have to deal with the standard definition DVD. And then presumably they're holding back on high definition, either for digital sales or to push it out through Disney Plus, which is launching here in a couple of months, and which some friends, of course, like Eddie Vanderheiden have already got a chance to test out because they are in the Netherlands. So, it was kind of a question mark, like I said. And unfortunately, when the launch finally came for Resistance Season 1 on home video, it fit more the Disney pattern than the Rebels pattern. All we got was a DVD release. Now that said, it's a decent DVD release, but it is only DVD, not Blu-ray, in friggin' 2019, which is asinine. That release is this. Okay? So we have here Star Wars Resistance, embossed. Characters here in the ships and all, embossed. Complete Season 1, again with the complete Season 1 without the in front of it, so sticking with the Rebels pattern for that, not the Clone Wars pattern for that. The sticker on the slipcover here says, over 7 hours of content. Includes never before seen bonus. Only this time, unlike what happened with Rebels, it can't advertise even more stuff on a Blu-ray, because there isn't one. Spine, DVD, Star Wars Resistance, complete Season 1. Got your shot of Kaz down there, and your product number. Essentially the same on the reverse there. The back. Bonus extras. We'll talk about those in a minute. Bit about the season. One shot of some ships. Then you've got your aces, for instance. You've got 3 shots there from the show, really kind of featuring the fact that, yeah, you've got Poe, yeah, you've got BB-8, yeah, you've got Phasma, etc. Then your widescreen English, blah, 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 blah. It's tech specs. Total episode running time, approximately 462 minutes. Color, digitally mastered, etc., etc. Disney Movie Rewards, because yes, there is a code, of course. DVD, NTSC, and all the different symbols you'd expect, along with your legalese down at the bottom, and a little Disney hologram kind of thing right there. Okay? You take this off. It's one of those clear, or foggy, whatever you want to call them, cases, and essentially the same inside. You open it, and you get just the generic movie rewards. Yes, I've already redeemed them, of course. With generic movie reward stuff on the back. The discs themselves, very plain. Right, you got the white label there with the silver shining through, I suppose there was one way of looking at that. Says hardly see it there because of the color. But it says, Star Wars Resistance Complete Season 1, DVD, Disney, Lucasfilm, Disc 1, Episodes 1 through 6 in this case, plus bonus. They all say plus bonus. Total episode running time, approximately 132 minutes. NTSC, Dolby Digital, Region 1. For technical assistance, blah, blah, blah. TV Y7, that's its rating, and then FV underneath to tell you why. And then you've got your legalese running around the side. With this being a full season, and this being a DVD set, it is 4 discs this time. And they are all given to you on arms, of course, as one would expect. Lots of reflection here because it's so friggin' white everywhere. Star Wars Resistance so white, even though it's probably one of the most diverse casts that we've had for a Star Wars show. As far as your bonus features, though, that's where I was kind of wondering whether this was going to be worth it. Because, on the one hand, we know it's SD, right? And I actually watched it a couple of different ways. I watched it in my office, so that my son could watch it while I was working, so that we could watch it. And watching it on a smaller PlayStation-branded 3D television, but not in 3D, playing it on either a PS3 or PS4, it actually looks all right, right? It's standard definition, yes, but because it's animation, it doesn't suffer as much as you would expect from, say, a live-action movie. But at that point, I then switched and started playing it via either a PS4 or an Xbox One S. I guess I should say PS4 Pro, but I don't think it'll make a difference in either case. On a bigger 4K television. And you can really tell the difference. The menus especially have much lower definition. It's just muddy looking sometimes. And whereas a lot of times the backgrounds are sort of grays and things like that, yes, you get a lot of muddiness to the backgrounds as well. So visually, not that great. If you've got HD files from something like iTunes, you're not going to need or really want this for the viewing level. And frankly, if this is going to be on Disney Plus, there's really not a whole lot of point to buying it unless you're a collector adding it to a home video library, as I am. As for the bonus features, it lays them out on the back. You have Resistance Rewinds, fun behind-the-scenes facts on Star Wars Resistance. These were put up on YouTube, so they're not unique to this, though they didn't really promote them very well. They really didn't promote a lot of stuff about Resistance very well and its little things. The only stuff that I got to see when I was actually watching the series was the bucket list stuff, and that got old very quickly, because it was like, yeah, duh. Had I watched Resistance Rewinds, which still aren't anywhere near the quality of something like Rebels Recon, I may have actually enjoyed the series more to begin with its slow burn, because I got to see insights that I didn't get otherwise, thanks to finally watching Resistance Rewind. You also have the 12 bonus shorts, so it's not just the regular episodes. You do have the bonus shorts included. So 21 episodes, 12 shorts. Then you got 4 audio commentaries, and it just says 4 audio commentaries with cast. It's the same cast members every time, and they're basically just kind of sitting there shooting the breeze as they're watching the episodes. It's Christopher Sean, who plays Kaz. It's Josh Brenner, who plays Niku. It's Scott Lawrence, who plays Yeager. And you might be thinking Susie McGrath, who plays Tam? No, actually. The person they brought in for it is actually Myrna Velasco, who plays Tora Doza. And it makes for a really engaging conversation. It's kind of interesting. It's hilarious at one point. I think it's Josh Brenner, who plays Niku, who makes a reference to how, oh, look, this is Star Wars. Sometimes you can forget that it's Star Wars. Exactly! That was my problem with the series initially. Definitely much better to binge watch than to watch week to week to week, because it actually feels a little bit more like there's a point to it, and it's more Star Wars-y, so to speak, if you run it all together. So those are entertaining, and there's one on each disc. For disc 1, it's The High Tower. You would think it'd be the first episode or two, but no, it's The High Tower. And then for disc 2, it's the Platform Classic. For disc 3, it's the Bebo episode. And then for disc 4, it's the one that makes the most sense, it would seem, which is No Escape Part 2, the season finale. So, good stuff there. But that's all stuff that, again, it's audio commentary, so it's the first time we're getting to hear those. But the other stuff, the bonus shorts, we've already seen. Resistance Rewinds, we've already seen. Is there anything else of value? There is. First thing listed there, Path of Resistance. Right? A special look at the past, present, and future of the show. And it's really not about the past, present, and future of the show. Not really. It does dip a little bit into a small clip for Season 2. But otherwise, it's not really a whole lot about that. But at the same time, it's not just a recap of Season 1. I actually really like this featurette. Basically what it is an explanation of Return of the Jedi through Resistance and how it interweaves with The Force Awakens heading into The Last Jedi. It is, in effect, a primer on the Resistance. But unlike what happened with, like, you look back at the Clone Wars and you see the Witches of Dathomir featurette, where Katie Lucas is like, well, I got the idea from this, and I got the idea from this, and we're sitting back there saying, excuse me, Dave Wolverton created all this shit. Are you ever going to give him any credit? Oh, you're not? Nice. That's some bullshit. In this case, they actually take in the scope of the material. So it talks about the Battle of Jakku. It talks about Shattered Empire. It talks about Bloodline. It manages to weave in the canon as it's been built recently to give us the origins and early days of the Resistance. It uses stuff out of the Poe Dameron comics, for instance. So it's a really good primer for those who've only seen the movies and the TV show to really get a sense of what's been happening in between in the books and comics when it comes to the development of the Resistance, what there is of it, and they do point out that we don't know a whole hell of a lot yet. So that, I think, is a pretty cool featurette, and if you can find this as a bargain price type thing, even if you're not going to, have it in a collection or something, that featurette is actually worth checking out. And I don't think it's also online. So, not a whole lot to it. It's a DVD release. It's not HD. There's not a ton that's new on it, but the commentaries and Path of Resistance make it somewhat worthwhile. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I had a chance to rewatch it binge style, because I'm not sure if I would have just watching digitally binge style, because I'd already seen all the episodes, but this gave me an excuse to rewatch them, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit more than I did the first time around. So, if you're looking for it, yes, Star Wars Resistance Complete Season 1 is available now. And there will be a Season 2, but Season 2 is the final season. Whether that gets a home media release at all is up in the air because Disney Plus will have launched by then. If so, there's also the question of will there ever be a complete series set, because it would only be 2 seasons worth. We'll just have to see. I'm hoping for it, but I'm not super optimistic. We'll just have to see. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.